Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. For those watching for the first time, welcome. My name is Dan Pardo, and this is episode 6 of Pardo's Turn, my weekly Wednesday web series where I do a bit of song analysis from a music director's point of view, and perhaps shed a little light on what makes the gems of our musical theater canon so great. If you have tuned in before and are thinking to yourself, who's this guy? I apologize for my baby face. I got a haircut yesterday, and the barber gave me just shy of a full Sweeney. I've mentioned in a few previous videos that I have been in Vermont since mid-June, music directing Fun Home at the Weston Playhouse. We opened to great reviews on Friday, and I'm excited to have Ava Vercellone on today's episode. She plays young Allison in our show. For many people, their window into Fun Home was Sidney Lucas's performance of Ring of Keys during the 2015 Tony Awards. It's a great song written by Janine Tesori and Lisa Crone, and Ava has similarly been wowing our audiences all week. While Ring of Keys can, and for today's purposes will, be played on piano, it's clearly a guitar-driven song. Most of Allison's songs, from Maps to Telephone Wire, are guitar features. In the latter, Bruce's sections are accompanied by solo piano, so her instrument choice is particularly clear. But what does that mean? I don't know for sure, but to me, the guitar-centric orchestration channels the ethos of lesbian singer-songwriters like Katie Lang and Melissa Etheridge, both of whom gained prominence in the 80s and 90s, much like Alison Bechdel herself. But even though Ring of Keys is a simple folk rock tune, it's a very smart one with lots of deliberate musical choices in its melody, rhythm, and harmonic structure. First of all, did you realize that it's all based on the circle of fifths progression? Kind of like it's moving around in a ring of keys? Okay, that's totally not true at all. My friend, composer Pete Mills, posted that joke about 3 years ago on Facebook, and it still makes me chuckle. But let's talk about what is true. The song, which dramatizes our protagonist's younger self seeing a, quote, old school butch for the first time, is all about recognizing something familiar but being unable to express it. It needs to convey both hesitation and discovery, and the writers do a masterful job. At first, Allison simply can't find the words. She starts, I feel, and trails off. I feel, while the band completes her musical idea. She continues with the chorus of the song, now identifying some aspects of this delivery woman that she likes and relates to. Her swagger, her bearing, short hair, and dungarees. So we're making progress, but in each of those cases, there is an eighth rest on the downbeat of the measure. Singing, or not singing on the downbeat, is a classic and effective way of seeing where a character truly stands, what she knows, and how well she knows it. Probably my favorite example of this is from Once Upon a Mattress. I've always been shy. No, you haven't. You're singing loudly on the downbeat. It's a musical joke that we all understand intrinsically. But here with young Allison, these brief pauses reveal that she's not making confident or all-knowing declarations. She's slowly finding her way, making these discoveries in the moment, or rather slightly after the moment. But then she sees one more thing. Your keys, oh, your ring of keys. Downbeat, downbeat, downbeat. And we're off to the races, singing the second verse with a little more assurance and enthusiasm. Two more things happen during the chorus that are really smart and telling. First, there is a strong hemiola over the phrase, lace up boots. A hemiola is a rhythmic figure in which two groups of 3 beats are replaced by 3 groups of 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The classic musical theater example is America in West Side Story. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But in this case, it's less about creating a fun Latin dance rhythm and more about conveying how this woman is going against the grain, breaking conventions, expectations, and to Allison, the rules as she knows them. She's dressing like a man. And as we hear young Allison sing earlier in the play, I despise this dress. What's the matter with boy shirts and pants? Nothing, according to this old school butch. I bet she's not wearing a barrette in her hair either. The other detail I wanted to highlight in the chorus was the harmonic shift during the phrase Ring of Keys. I already talked about how it arrives on the downbeat, but it also modulates suddenly to the flat 3. It's like one of the lady's keys has unlocked the door to a place that's new and full of possibility. Back to E. The song, by and large, fits nicely within the young alto's voice, reinforcing Allison's young, tomboy-like quality with a solid belt, not unlike a vocal track for Annie or Mary Lennox. But then at the end of the bridge, the registration changes and Allison has to flip up to a vulnerable part in her head voice. She asks, "In this whole luncheonette, why am I the only one who sees you're beautiful?" Then jumps back down to the middle of her range and clarifies, "No, I mean handsome." For the final chorus, the rhythmic pauses still exist, but now she's singing through them with confidence, embracing the syncopations like a seasoned pop star. The song winds down back to solo guitar as she repeats simply and assuredly, "I know you. I know you. I know you." Hi everyone, I'm here with Ava, and pronounce your last name for me?
Vercellone.
Vercellone, okay. So who plays young Allison in our production of Fun Home at Weston Playhouse at the Walker's Farm, which we started last night. How do you think the first preview went?
I think it went pretty well.
I thought so too. So your parents were there.
Yeah.
Are any of your other friends or family coming to see the show throughout the run?
Well, my friends can't because it's kind of far in the show. It has some moments.
Right.
It's not like that.
You're pretty adult for you're what, 10 years old?
10.
Yeah. So I think you and then Emmett and Ryder, who play Christian and John in the show respectively, are really adult and have acted really professionally in the room, which has been great for the creative team and the rest of the cast. So you share a role with with two other actors.
Yeah.
What's that been like working with Caitlin and Andrea?
It's been pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool to see, like, when we do the final song, it's kind of cool to see, like, oh, there's me when I go off to college, there's me when I publish a book, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's great. Has been fun working with the other two young actors?
Yeah.
You have fun horsing around in the back?
Yeah. It's fun to get in the casket.
Oh yeah, what was that? I didn't realize that the whole thing wasn't going to open up. So only the top opens up. So do you have to get in and slide down?
So they open it up, and then I kind of get in, and then Emma gets in, and we're in there for like maybe 2 or maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah, because they roll you in, and there's a whole scene before before get out of there.
And the hard thing is we also have a costume change during that point.
There are a lot of costume changes. So do you do most of them yourself, or do you have help backstage?
Well, most of the time the boys, they have to take off their pants and their shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I wear the same pants the whole show.
Oh, that's good.
So that's pretty easy.
Except for that dress scene?
Yeah, except for the dress.
Mm-hmm. So I was looking at the headshots yesterday outside the theater, and you have this long, gorgeous hair. How long did it go down? I couldn't really tell. So about your waist.
Yeah, like if I leaned down, it would like go down to like.
Uh-huh.
Well, that doesn't happen anymore.
Not anymore. So did you get a cut for the show?
Yeah, I think you actually saw my long hair, right?
I think we met in the city before you were cast, and
and I think I had long hair at that point.
Mm-hmm. So do you miss it? I know that the character Allison talks about how she wants the crew cut. That might be a little severe.
At first, I was a little kind of upset, but I'm actually kind of glad now because it's summer and it's hot and I don't have all this hair on me. And I don't like putting my hair in a ponytail, and now I don't have to do that. So.
Well, you have your beret. No, you don't have your beret.
I do have
there it is.
I had one in the car.
There you go. So what are you looking forward to for the rest of the run?
I'm looking forward to like being in Vermont, and because I've never done a show in Vermont before. I have family here, and this is the longest time I've ever been in Vermont. I really liked it.
It's beautiful. And so we're here in the Weston Playhouse building. The theater is just over that way. They're doing Our Town now and West Side Story starting next week. But our show is not at the main Weston Playhouse. We were actually at the new space, which is called Weston Playhouse at Walker Farm. And what's it like playing? So this is what's called a three-quarter, thrust stage, where you have audience on three sides of you. Have you ever done a show with that type of format before? You've done what, Christmas Carol at Hartford Stage?
Oh, yeah.
Is that
A Christmas Carol, yeah.
Is that done that way, or is that a proscenium stage?
Well, this theater is a little more, like the seats are kind of more high up.
Oh, so it's like a stadium seat, kind of?
Yeah, kind of, but like, you know how some theaters there's like a stage where like you walk on, like there's like kind of like steps to get on the stage? Well, they don't have that, it's kind of just like one floor.
Oh, okay.
So there's different ways to like kind of go there. So yeah, it's kind of like this, but again, not really.
Was it helpful for you to see a production of Fun Home before doing the role yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty helpful because there's no movie of Fun Home, and I got to see it, and it's pretty nice to see what kind of like my character did and how she like acted and stuff.
So for Ring of Keys, which we're about to sing, is it what's it like singing a song to someone who's not there on the stage? You know, usually you have a scene partner, and your scene partner
it's kind of imaginary.
I remember early on in the process, our assistant director Charlotte was kind of walking the path of the delivery woman. Was that helpful for you?
It was pretty helpful because I knew where to like look. But I've done like I've done it kind of a lot now. I've kind of gotten used to like. So sometimes I picture just Charlotte walking.
No, and
that's really helpful.
Cool. Want to sing the song?
Sure. Someone just came in the door, like no one I ever saw before. I feel I don't know where you came from. I wish I did. I feel so dumb. I feel your swagger and your bearing and the just right clothes you're wearing, your short hair and your dungarees and your lace-up boots and your keys. Oh, your ring of keys. I thought it was supposed to be wrong, but you seem okay with being strong. I want your soul. It's probably conceited to say, but I think we're alike in a certain way. Your swagger and your bearing and the just right clothes you're wearing, your short hair and your dungarees and your lace-up boots and your keys. Oh, your ring of keys. Do you feel my heart saying hi? In this whole luncheonette, why am I the only one who sees you're beautiful? No, I mean handsome. Your swagger and your bearing and the just right clothes you're wearing, your short hair and your dungarees and your lace-up boots and your keys. Oh, your ring of keys. I know you.
Yay, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
So we are playing through July 28th here in Weston, Vermont. And tickets are available at the links below. Please check us out, and I'll see you next week.
Drink your short